Homophobia, racism, ableism. No, I'm not reciting the start of Jay-Z's Monsterverse. I'm talking about the topics that I'm going to be covering today in Controversial Rap Lyrics Part 2. I've dropped a few videos for you guys lately just reviewing music, so I thought it was time to put out another one of those videos where I talk more about stories within the world of hip-hop in the form of some lyrics. Like the first part, any rap lyrics that caused some sort of outrage or ended up being censored are eligible for this video. So let's get right into it. This is CDTVProductions. Embrace yourself for the first one.
Now Georgie, Porgie pudding pie. When major choose the path of the gays, oh why? Call me homophobic, but I know it and you know it. You're filthy and funny to the utmost exponent.
This entire song was, to put it lightly, a bromo. Hip-hop is no stranger to having homophobic lyrics, but this is an entire song dedicated to saying that being gay is nasty. Hold up, does Hello Yassine have a feature on this? And this one was particularly weird because of who it came from. A tribe called Quest, who are generally known for having more light-hearted, positive music. They just weren't the type of group that people would imagine having one of the most homophobic rap songs of all time. The boomer Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve joke is even within the opening lines of this song. The story of every verse in the song is about a kid named George who used to hang around on the street with his friends and rob mothers, stuff like that, until it turned out that he was something worse than a robber and potential murderer. A gay. Fortunately, it's a song that was never officially released because the record label were the ones that actually had some sense in them and refused to put the track on Tribe's now classic album, The Low End Theory. The song was replaced with Show Business, which was over the exact same beat as Georgie Porgie, but it had different verses from everyone that still wanted to be on the track. That's right, Grand Poobah of the group Brand Nubian, who featured on Georgie Porgie along with Tribe Called Quest, refused to rewrite his lyrics for the new song, so he wasn't on it, and he was the only person involved that took this form of protest. Why are these the lyrics that you would stand so strongly behind? However, the actual new song itself, Show Business, is theorized to be partially a response to the record label pulling Georgie Porgie from the record, as it's a song about how shady the music industry is. As far as I could find, none of the Tribe Called Quest or Brand Nubian members have responded specifically to the backlash that this track received. However, on their 2016 album, Tribe did have a song called We the People, and during the chorus of that song, it actually has a line defending gay people and criticizing the homophobia in America. Georgie Porgie was made in the early 90s, so hopefully most of the people involved have changed their views on the subject from then till now. I say most and not all because as recently as 2017, Lord Jamar of Brand Nubian has labelled being gay as making the wrong choice, along with a bunch of other similar comments. Genuinely just watch his Vlad TV interviews and it's just a treasure trove of homophobia that's pretending it's not homophobia. It's crazy. So I doubt that he was very regretful about the fact that he was on this track.
As a motherfucking bomb, Trayvon Martin, I'm never missing my target.
Lyric number 2 to file in the category of what even made you think it was a good idea to say this? Even if it wasn't Rick Ross's intention to make this comparison somehow, it very much sounds like him using the shooting of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin as a metaphor for his own success. Of course, I don't know what his intent was when he wrote it, but just the wording of it, there's no better way you could have put that. The Molly all in her champagne lyric and then this, Rick Ross is building up quite the track record with lyrics that cause a stir. Due to the backlash that this line received, pretty much from the second that anyone could hear it, Rick Ross released a statement that was really jumbled and rambly defending the line, saying that I'm never gonna let the world forget that name. In my song Black and White off Mastermind, I say, Trayvon Martin, I'm never missing my target. There I'm reminding people that if you're a black person or a person of any color for that matter in this country, you have to be accurate. Whatever moves you make, stay accurate. If that is what you meant, I'm not gonna lie, the line didn't communicate that at all. It sounds kind of like he's making it up as he goes along, and if he wanted to pay tribute to Trayvon Martin and keep his name alive within a song, Saying a one-off line like this probably isn't the ideal way to do it.
Yo, check it out. So don't follow me up and down your market. All your little chop suey ass will be a target of a nationwide boycott. So pay respect to the black fist, or we'll burn your storm right down to a crisp. And then we'll see ya, cause you can't turn the ghetto in the black career.
Ice Cube was really one of the kings of controversy in the 80s and 90s with his very politically charged music, and this track is no different. The 47-second long Black Korea from Ice Cube's classic Death Certificate album was one of the album's most criticized moments. In fact, when it first dropped, the original release of this album in the UK didn't include this track or No Vaseline. And I can at least kind of see why it kicked up a fuss. Like, I remember the first time I listened to this, it seemed very intense even for Ice Cube, with its verse targeting racist Korean store owners. It's very possible that it was inspired by Ice Cube's own experiences, as well as the murder of a 15-year-old black girl, Latasha Harlins, in 1991, just a few months before this album dropped, who was killed by a Korean American store owner who incorrectly assumed that she was stealing. Top this off with the insanely light sentence that he got for the shooting, and you can at least see where the anger that inspired a track like Black Korea comes from. Ice Cube actually released a statement following the track saying, "I explained some of the feelings and attitudes of black people today and the problems and frustrations that we confront, and I clarified the intent of my album Death Certificate. It was not intended to offend anyone or incite violence of any kind. It was not directed at all Korean Americans or at all Korean American store owners. I respect Korean Americans. It was directed at a few stores where my friends and I have had actual problems. Working together, we can help solve these problems and build a bridge between our communities." I've got to say, it's a better statement than any of the ones that Rick Ross has dropped. But overall, it's not one that I'm too sure about, to be honest. I understand what inspired the track and the tensions involved, especially at the time, but the track itself does seem to contain a few racist sentiments of its own. Unless I'm missing something, it does kind of come across as fighting prejudice with prejudice.
Space coupe look like a UFO. Whoa. Smoking on dope. Damn. They call me out mean cause my eye real low.
And here we have a much less intense and much more casual use of racism against Asians from Lillian Pumpernickel himself. This one is just too ridiculous to take seriously, man. It's so stupid that it just sounds exactly like something that Lil Pump would say. Maybe this is why China wasn't on the insanely random list of countries that he's hitting up for his return tour. Genuinely though, I think this is the first time that I've ever seen an artist who used to be really prominent in the US hitting up Mongolia, Taiwan, and Saudi Arabia. Might want to check with your poster guy on that spell check, Lil Pump. All in a single tour. Forget about Pitbull, this is the new Mr. Worldwide. But anyway, back to the lyric. This version of the song never got released. Lil Pump posted a snippet on social media, was very quickly called out for it, and then when the song did officially drop, make no mistake, the line about his eyes being real low like Yao Ming was still left in there. But it was the ad-lib that doubled down on the line that got removed. In fact, there was even a Chinese rapper called Pissy, no comment, who dropped a diss track on Lil Pump because of this line.
Butterfly doors, I'm on Beretta trying to show off. Your head looks like a UFO, now cut that shit, won't he no more.
Pump sadly never fired back with a diss track of his own, so unfortunately we never got to see a transcontinental rap beef before his transcontinental tour.
Go check the numbers, dummy, that's just me getting started. I'm artistic, you niggas is artistic, retarded, started.
The reason why this line upset some people is pretty clear once again, with Cole using the word autistic under a negative connotation to basically imply that other rappers who aren't on his level are stupid. The line was originally released completely uncensored, just like how I played it in the snippet before this segment. However, when the song was re-released on Drake's compilation album Care Package in 2016, this line was replaced with a really awkward sounding 2 seconds of silence that just instantly makes you think, oh yeah, this is where the autism line was.
That's just me getting started, I'm artistic, you hold your applause.
Whatever your stance is on Cole and Drake removing the lyric, Cole clearly didn't want this to be in the song anymore, as he issued a public apology after he saw the backlash that the line received, saying, "Last week, when I first saw a comment from someone outraged about the lyric, I realized right away that what I said was wrong. I was instantly embarrassed that I would be ignorant enough to say something so hurtful. What makes the crime worse is that I should have known better." It also included the words, "I am sorry," so it tops any Rick Ross statement in terms of sincerity. The only thing that I'd say Cole went wrong with in his apology here was addressing it to the organization Autism Speaks, which is a notoriously bad organization when it comes to supporting autistic people. There's whole YouTube videos about this. The effort, of course, is respectable, but that does make it come slightly more across like an apology to an organization and not more towards actual autistic people. But not everyone is aware of the controversies around Autism Speaks, so benefit of the doubt there. Hey, at least he made some type of effort when he felt like he did wrong. So that was our second round of controversial lyrics for this video. If you think that there's any that I missed, you can just drop them down in the comments below, and who knows, maybe I'll cover them in a future episode of this mini-series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can click on the screen right here to see a nice little playlist where I've put all the controversial and poorly aged rap lyrics videos. They're all great watches, so go check that out. Shout out to my kings, queens, and everything in betweens on Patreon for supporting me, with a special shout out to my top supporters on there, and those are Agir, Big Daddy Foe, I Am Regent, Griffin Upchurch, Ronan Maverick, and Ryan Shadow 507.